guys, the Firebird is here. It's just me. My brother couldn't be here today, as always, because he became a god.
It started when an alien device did what it did and stuck itself upon his wrist with secrets that it hid.
Man, I miss OG Ben 10 a lot. Anyways, these are the jokes. I hope you guys are enjoying them. So today we have a very big reveal of a character that got deleted from the movie. More or less. You guys saw the thumbnail, you guys saw the title, I probably put his name in the title as well. It's Rampage. Now, in case you guys don't know who Rampage is, let me give you a very brief description of his character in Beast Wars. So in OG Beast Wars, Rampage used to be known as Protoform X. He basically was one of the many maximal protoforms that landed on Earth. He came under the possession of the Terracons and was said to have an invincible, indestructible spark until it was destroyed by the end of the series. Long story. But he was one of the coolest characters in my opinion because he had a robot mode, a beast mode, and a tank mode, and I always found him really cool. And he had one of the best episodes in the form of Transmutate, which, yeah, I know, it's a nightmare fuel episode, but in my opinion, I really liked him in there. He always was one of my favorite Predacons, and it looks like originally he was gonna appear in Rise of the Beast. Because just recently today, in the TF 2005 boards, we actually got a couple of images of him, like, sent to us, which were recently shared by Shane Baxley. Now, here we can see what a hypothetical movie, Rampage would look like, and he looks in pretty bad shape. You can see that he has like the crab, appendages on the back of him. He has like a very faithful looking Beast Wars head, like Cheetor. And yeah, he's not in a very good shape. It looks like he also has half of his body missing and he's been torn apart. Now, we actually do know when this was supposed to take place. This takes place in the Peruvian cavern where originally, Noah and Elena were chased by the Freezer, and at the same time, they were gonna be hunted down by both Cheetor and Rhinox before that whole scene got cut. Here we have another look at Rise of the Beast Rampage. It looks like he has something stabbed through his chest, which funnily enough, I think it's like around the same position that in OG Beast Wars, his spark was located at. So I thought that was kind of interesting. It looks like he, instead of having his original Beast Wars color scheme, he has a more of a pinkish purple type of color scheme, which I don't really mind because that was also part of his color scheme, but I mean, it's just weird seeing him without the red. And here we can actually see a bit more of his like lower section of his body and a bit of a clearer look at him. It looks like he does have the legs in the second piece of concept art. He has the classic, crab legs on the back. That's cool and all. And I don't know, like, this is so interesting in all honesty, because this opens up so many questions. It is possible that the Maximals, when they landed on Earth, at some point the Predacons follow and they had their own Beast Wars back in the past. Which, honestly, I would believe that, and I said this from the very beginning, I think that maybe once the Maximals arrived on Earth, before the events of Rise of the Beast, and this is something that I said even before Rise of the Beast came out, I'm like, I have a feeling that during all that time, the Maximals just didn't sit around and did nothing. I think that at one point, they got visited by the Predacons themselves, and they had their own version of their Beast Wars on Earth, a live action Beast Wars that we never got to see. This kind of adds up if you want to consider, that very controversial piece of, media depicting the OG Maximals and OG Predacons from Beast Wars in this like Incan type of, hieroglyphic, symbol stuff, whatever you want to call this. It will bring that whole event full circle, The Maximals stayed to, safeguard over humanity. At some point, the Predacons came and they had their Beast Wars. And this is just like the remnants of the old Beast Wars, Characters from OG Beast Wars just, lying here, dead. And Rampage just so happens to be one of these characters. Again, I'm not saying that this is canon, because much like Bloodhound and arguably In Transit, well, we could say that this technically did happen, and concept arts usually reveal stuff that the film doesn't explicitly make clear in some occasions. At the same time, this is still concept art, and its canonicity is dubious at best. And personally, I'm kinda happy this got cut, because now in the future, if they wanna bring, Rampage as one of the Predacons to, be part of the live action movie cast, then they totally can do that. He's just not relegated to being dead. But if this is canon, and let's say there's Beast Wars, Predacon bodies all around the world just hiding in places like this, then I think this basically, confirms my earlier theory that, yeah, at one point the Beast Wars did happen, much like in the original show, and the Predacons ended up losing, or maybe they ended up being imprisoned prison or something along those lines. Now, what's interesting here is the weapon that was used to kill him. Now, if you take a close look at it, we really don't know what this is. You know, it could be any. It doesn't look like Primal's weapons. It kind of looks a bit like Cheeto's weapon, but I don't think so. And it doesn't look like anything like Rhinox. But I think I know whose weapon this is. And this is actually Dinobot's weapon. If you look at these closely side by side, if I, you know, brighten up the saturation and put this, you know, the Beast Wars Dinobot sword and this sword side by side, you can clearly see that they're very similar. They both have like that weirdly, you know, razor edge shaped pattern. You can see the handle at the very top. I think that this, if anything, confirms that at one point Dinobot betrayed the Predacons, at least, you know, in these, you know, versions of the concept of the original script. Maybe Dinobot's betrayal did end up happening and he joined the Maximals, or you know, he just betrayed the Predacons and never joined the Maximals. That's also a possibility, we just don't know. But regardless of that, all we can really do is speculate. But yeah, now we can add Rampage to the ongoing growing list of Predacons that got cut from the movie, including Double Punch, Sandstorm, and I guess Sandspear, but I wouldn't exactly count him. The Predacons really got done dirty in this movie, and honestly, I'm a bit upset by that. But you know, this kind of thing happens, and at this point, I'm like, I'm not angry, I'm just a bit disappointed. Well guys, we're not done just yet, because somehow, Transit has returned. I'm not kidding. So, a while back, we got the Transit scene in the digital version of Rise of the Beast. I made a video about it. I think I was the first one on YouTube to upload it. I'm a bit proud of that, not gonna lie. But, needless to say, we didn't get the full scene. There were some scenes that we heard from that were missing. For example, Optimus was supposed to drag Transit's corpse to the Hudson River, and you know, where we're gonna find a pile of other Decepticons there. Exactly who did any of those Decepticons, we still don't know yet. I think they're gonna be just generic Seekers. I still stand by that statement. But very recently on Instagram, Shoutout has uploaded like his little, you know, choreography for the battle. And I'm probably showing you that on screen right now. I'm not playing the music because that's gonna get me copyrighted. And I don't think there's any new piece of dialogue here except for the stuff that is in subtitles here. For example, some of the dialogue is out of order, and at one point Optimus even refers to Transit by name, which I think it's kind of weird and implies there's some kind of history between the two of them. Isn't it weird how in the movie called Rise of the Beast, Transit is the most interesting character aside from, you know, the Beast themselves? I think that is hilarious. We get some new scenes here and there that we didn't see in the Transit scene, like when Transit shoots, you know, with his blaster, and this shoots like a little billboard, or some other like small action scenes that didn't, you know, quite make it in the final render, I mean, of the fight scene. Some scenes like Optimus Prime laying the smack on Transit while he's armless before, you know, wrecking him completely and utterly are things that we never seen before. And also, I absolutely love how the guy who's choreographing this shoots the quote-unquote Transit actor with a Nerf gun. I think that is hilarious. And at the end, we get a new scene that we didn't see, you know, when the Transit car got released. We see Optimus Prime looking at Transit's body for grabbing his leg and just dragging him along to the Hudson River supposedly to bury him. So, for those of you who were still saying that, fire, you're wrong, like that scene with the Decepticons and Transit being buried in the Hudson River, that doesn't exist. Apparently this was just it. No, just the way that scene ended for the digital, like, wasn't complete. So the Transit cut's still out there, you know, we still don't have all of it. I hope that in the future we do get to see who those Decepticons are, and I'm calling it now, they're probably the Seekers from Cybertron, or probably just recolors of Blitzwing models, either or. But we'll have to wait and see until they finally decide to give us the full render cut, whatever you want to call it, of the Transit scene, because that's still out there. So, we're not done with Transit just yet. Expect to see him very soon. But yeah guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I don't have much to say because we only have 2 new pieces of concept art. Because whenever we get stuff for deleted characters, I feel like that's always worth talking about. Because I find a lot of those concepts very interesting. But now I want to hear from you guys. Did you guys think that this is canon? Would you guys have liked to see this being kept for the movie? And do you think that that weapon that is, you know, piercing Rampage's chest is actually Dinobot's weapon? Personally, I think it's Dinobot's weapon. I think there's too much of a similarity there to not be a coincidence. And as for the latter, I'm kind of glad this got cut because I don't, you know, it still leaves the door open for Rampage to come back in the future as one of Beast Wars Megatron's Predacons. So yeah, I'm not terribly upset that this got cut, but I'm terribly upset that he didn't appear in the movie in any way, shape, or form. So yeah, as always guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Do all the annoying YouTuber stuff that the algorithm likes so much. And I will see you guys in the next video. Stay safe, guys. Anyways, guys, before we go, shout out to our super incredible patrons: Predacon Hunter Plays, Scrub Lordo, Omega Trion 2006, Stitch Productions, Xavier the God, Ender Skiers, Up Nation Reviews, James Newbold, DJ Universe, Tristan Curry, Stellar, Allspark Studio, Super Sailor Formers Hedgehog, Cuber 9 Gaming, Rich Cracker 64 Studios Productions, Crazy T-Rex, King Sparta, Legend of Soup, Dinobot Side of J, Crawley 666, Itsuki, and TF Cypher. And shout out to our incredible big bold Patreons, Jordan the Great and Next North 3 who donated a amount of money. I still won't tell how much it was. But anyways, if you join my Patreon, you get a few rewards. You can watch some of my videos early. You can request a collab with me, some of my videos or your videos depending on your choosing. You can request some videos from me, get early looks at some videos that I'm doing and even some that I haven't published quite yet. The list goes on. But keep in mind that it's entirely optional because freedom's the right of all sentient beings. Thank you to my patrons for donating, it's much appreciated. Be sure to go and check out their channels. They could use all the help they can get. Some of them do Transformers content like I do, and some of them do whatever other funny thing they can come up with. We have quite a diverse selection here. But yeah, as always, guys, thank you so much for your support. It's much appreciated. And I'll see you all in the next video. Stay safe, guys.